after posting their first playoff series win in 10 years.
That's the end of the game, and the Denver Nuggets, for the first time since 2009, advance.
The Denver Nuggets are showing signs of becoming the next great NBA team. Superstar center Nikola Jokić, paired with rising star Jamal Murray, and extremely talented draftees in Bol Bol and Michael Porter Jr., Nuggets fans have a lot to be excited for. However, a future dynasty isn't built overnight, and that holds true for the Denver Nuggets. June 26, 2003. Following 8 consecutive years of missing the playoffs, and a 2002 season that saw the Nuggets end the year with 17 wins, the Denver Nuggets select,
with the third pick in the 2003 NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select Carmelo Anthony from Syracuse University.
2 months into the 2003 NBA season, the Nuggets had recorded more wins than they had tallied in 6 months of play during the 2002 season. The Nuggets end the 2003 season as the 6th seed in the West and become the only team to finish in the playoffs. In the following 2 seasons, the Nuggets would tally win totals of 49 wins and 44, yet failing to win more than one playoff game in each of those 2 seasons respectively. December 19, 2006. Joe Smith, Andre Miller, and 2 first-round draft picks are traded to the Philadelphia 76ers for superstar Allen Iverson. This trade leaves the Nuggets with 2 players averaging over 30 points per game and 2 of the best players in the league. The pairing of Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson did not prove enough, as the Nuggets finished the 2006-07 season with 45 wins and a first-round exit to the Spurs in 5 games. The 2007-08 season saw the Nuggets win 50 games for the first time in 20 years, in a year which saw all eight of the Western Conference playoff teams post 50 wins or more. The Nuggets finished in the 8th seed, and as a result faced the Lakers, who eventually swept them. November 3rd, 2008. Allen Iverson is traded to the Detroit Pistons for Chauncey Billups, Antonio McDyess, and Shake Sam. Following the acquisition of All-Star, Finals MVP and NBA champion Chauncey Billups to pair with star player Carmelo Anthony, the Nuggets exceed their previous season's win tally and have their equal highest number of wins since the 1887 season. Following the acquisition of Mr. Big Shot, the Denver Nuggets placed 2nd in the Western Conference and faced the Hornets in the first round of the playoffs. This was the first time the Nuggets boasted home court advantage in 20 years, and it saw them squash the Hornets in 5 games, including a playoff record 58-point win, in which Chauncey Billups recorded 8 assists to go along with Carmelo Anthony's 26 points. The conference semi-finals saw the Nuggets matched up against Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks, in which they finished in 5 games, with their only loss coming as a result of a 44-point, 13-rebound performance from Dirk, beating out Carmelo Anthony's 41-point, 11-rebound performance. Despite the efforts of Carmelo Anthony, the Nuggets lose the Western Conference Finals to the eventual NBA champions, the LA Lakers. Unfortunately for Nuggets fans, this was the peak of their powers. Following their Western Conference Finals loss to Kobe Bryant's Lakers, the Nuggets had their 3rd consecutive 50-win season, in which Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups averaged 28 points and 19.6 points respectively. Despite their best efforts, the Nuggets would go on to lose in 6 games to the Utah Jazz in the first round of the playoffs, February 22nd, 2011.
Reporting that the deal is finally done.
The end of an era. Following months of speculation, Carmelo Anthony is traded to the New York Knicks, alongside Chauncey Billups in return for Wilson Chandler, Raymond Felton, Danilo Gallinari, Timofey Mozgov, and Costa Koufos. Following the trade, people expected the Nuggets to fail miserably, with some even touting them to be the Cleveland Cavaliers of the West. However, they rallied, finishing the season 38-28 in the NBA's lockout season, as a result of much improved defense and ball movement. 10th of August 2012. All-star Andre Iguodala is traded to the Denver Nuggets in a 4-team trade, which sees Aaron Aflalo and Al Harrington join the Orlando Magic and Dwight Howard join the Lakers. Despite no Carmelo Anthony, the Nuggets won 57 games under George Karl, who would go on to win Coach of the Year. They clinched the 3rd seed, winning a remarkable 38 of their 41 games at home. However, despite such a great season, the end result was all too familiar for Nuggets fans, as they would lose in 6 games to some kid called Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. The following year saw the Nuggets slip into mediocrity, with the firing of Coach of the Year George Karl The Nuggets also lost Executive of the Year Masai Ujiri, who had joined the Toronto Raptors. Yes, that guy. Andre Iguodala joined the Golden State Warriors on a sign and trade which saw the Denver Nuggets receive Randy Foye in return. At the time, Nuggets fans and NBA fans in general might not have known it, but this was the beginning of what would become one of the most exciting teams in the NBA. Following a disappointing 2013-14 season, the Nuggets traded their 11th pick to the Chicago Bulls in exchange for the 16th and 19th pick in the draft. This saw them draft Jusuf Nurkic and Gary Harris. Despite acquiring 2 first-round picks, it was not the drafting of Gary Harris and Jusuf Nurkic that changed the fate of Denver's franchise. It was during a commercial break that the Denver Nuggets would select a little-known Serbian. This player was Nikola Jokić. Following their worst season in 12 years, head coach Brian Shaw was fired and replaced by Michael Malone. As a result of their worst season in 12 years, draft night was met with some excitement by Nuggets fans as they had their earliest pick in 12 years, and with the 7th overall pick, they selected Emmanuel Mudiay. Under Michael Malone, the Nuggets improved slightly, with a heavy emphasis on youth. Jokić, Harris and Mudiay all getting significant minutes. These minutes were enough to capture the attention of the NBA world, and it saw Jokić and Murray play in the 2016 Rising Stars Challenge among all the other up-and-coming stars. June 24th, 2016. Following a 33-win season, the Denver Nuggets were left with the 7th overall pick yet again. And with that selection they chose Kentucky guard Jamal Murray. He joined 2 other first-round picks in Juan Hernangomez and Florida State's Malik Beasley. Following the introduction of Nikola Jokić into the starting lineup, the Nuggets boasted the best offensive rating in the league post-All-Star break. This was the season in which Nikola Jokić proved just how good he was, as he ranked 6th in the entire NBA for real plus-minus, despite the team having a losing record. To put this into context, Rudy Gobert, Draymond Green, Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook and Draymond Green were the only players who edged him out, all of which who were on teams who won significantly more games. Following the emergence of Nikola Jokić as one of the NBA's elite young players, expectations were raised for the Nuggets, and they added to those expectations by signing all-star power forward Paul Millsap to a 3-year, $90 million deal to pair in a front court of he and Nikola Jokić. Despite this dynamic front court, the 2017-18 season saw the emergence of Denver's backcourt. As a second-year player, Jamal Murray increased his points per game from 9.9 to 16.7, in part to the increased playmaking of Nikola Jokić as he improved his assists by over 1 a game. The other member of the Nuggets backcourt, Gary Harris, had a career-high 17.5 points per game and impressed with his two-way ability. As a result of improved seasons from their young stars, Denver tallied 46 wins. However, this was not enough to make the playoffs in the stacked West. Entering the 2018 NBA draft with the 14th overall pick and a host of young talent, the Nuggets took a chance on one of the most talented players in the draft, Michael Porter Jr. Following a back injury, Porter dropped from what looked to be a certain top 5 selection to almost outside of the lottery. Despite Porter not playing all year and the Nuggets being struck down with a number of injuries, including Gary Harris, Paul Millsap, and Will Barton, the Nuggets emerged as one of the NBA's elite teams, seemingly ahead of their time. This was largely down to the improved seasons of superstar Nikola Jokić and rising star Jamal Murray, who both improved in all aspects of their game, which saw the Nuggets win over 50 games for the first time in 6 years and finish the season as the 2nd seed in the Western Conference. Despite such a remarkable season, numerous people questioning whether or not this Nuggets team was legit. Some pointing to their lack of a superstar player as a reason for such a query. Hello, are you guys not seeing what we're seeing from Nikola Jokić? Anyways, the Nuggets faced Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs, which was always going to be tough. Despite not being considered a superstar, Jokić would average 20.5 points per game against the Spurs, including a 43-point game in which the Spurs had absolutely no answers to his offense. This would go along with his 9 assists per game as the Nuggets closed out the Spurs in 7. Despite Jokic's great series, Jamal Murray was also largely to thank for the series win, as he helped close out the series with a clutch 23 points in the Game 7 decider. Fast forward to the next round. The Portland Trail Blazers are coming off a huge win over the OKC Thunder and are full of confidence. The series was very up and down, with good performances from Murray and Gary Harris, and another incredible showing from Jokić, who the Blazers had absolutely no answer for. Following an incredibly tight 7-game series, the Nuggets were unable to prevail against the Blazers in Game 7, and they were eliminated. Following a breakout season, the Denver Nuggets have now been heralded as one of the most exciting young teams in the NBA heading into the 2019-20 season. With the expected development of Jamal Murray, Malik Beasley, Monte Morris, Gary Harris, And of course the Joker, to go along with the prospects of Michael Porter Jr. and Bol Bol. We are looking at not only one of the best teams in the NBA, but one of the youngest. The Denver Nuggets have come a long way since the departure of Carmelo Anthony, and seem more likely than ever to compete for an NBA championship over the coming years. As a result of this, Nuggets fans should be more excited than ever to see their team perform over the next several years at such a high level. This is a brief history of the Denver Nuggets and how they came to be the best young team in the NBA. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you want to see next. Drop a comment, appreciate all the support. Joker for MVP.